Hello and welcome to the iDaph Events Podcast. Today is Thursday, November 12th. I'm Stephanie Buss and I'm here with race director Daphne Kirkwood. And we are here today to talk about the upcoming South Asheville Turkey Trot. And we want our turkey trotters to know exactly what they're getting into on Thanksgiving Day. So we're going to do a little pre-event podcast today. So Daphne, tell us a little bit about how the Turkey Trot got started.
Sure. Yeah. The South Asheville Turkey Trot started 3 years ago in Biltmore Park in South Asheville. And just last year, the second year we had it, it grew to over 1,000 runners.
Wow, the good old days.
1,000 people in one spot at a time. Like, can you imagine?
Right.
And well, this year, due to the pandemic and the length of time that we need to have to do the wave and the rolling starts, we've actually moved the event about 10 minutes down the road further south to Biltmore Community Park.
Right. So then this year it had to be switched to that new location, Biltmore Community Park, formerly known as Fletcher Park. And that's just south of Asheville. And we know from our pop-up 5Ks that we had there this summer that this is a really great place to have a safe race. And it allows for plenty of social distancing and wave starts.
Yeah, it's such a great park for a race. It's safe, it's clean, and I have so much gratitude for the folks at Biltmore Community Park. They totally have trusted us with designing and producing safe in-person events there starting this summer with the pop-up 5K series. And now they've allowed us to have this very special annual holiday tradition event at the park this fall. So they've been so accommodating and we are so appreciative.
Yeah, and so last year we had over 1,000 participants, and this year I know we have a lot less, and that's because of the pandemic, correct?
Yeah, our permit allows for us to have 300 people at the park for the event, and the event is sold out. But there is a virtual race that folks can still sign up for and be part of this annual holiday tradition together. And another thing too with the park is to have 300 people there, all at one time, which it's not a mass start event, but having the staggered starts and the wave starts will help it to feel open, and the trails won't be congested. So that'll be really nice.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to do a quick pause here because we're going to put an ad in this section. Okay, let's talk about the Turkey Trot. So you're signed up, you have an assigned wave start time. What's next?
Yeah, so we will have our packet pickup the day prior to the event on Wednesday, November 25th. It's from 2 to 5 o'clock, and it's at Fleet Feet in Asheville in Biltmore Park Town Square. It's the same spot. If you came last year, that's where it is. We're going to do a drive-through style packet pickup. So that will be new to some folks. We've been doing those this summer. They've worked out really, really well. They're super convenient. So we'll have that. Folks just stay in their car and pull up to the packet pickup area, and we'll hand them their goodies through their car window. So super convenient. And we also had an option for people to have their items shipped to them if they weren't able to make it to the pre-event packet pickup. And so we will start shipping those things out early next week.
Sounds good. And then we're doing a food drive, right?
Oh, yeah, we are so excited about this. It's sort of a new addition to the race, but the park asked us if we could collect canned good foods for the food bank at the Calvary Episcopal Church in Fletcher. And our goal is to have every person bring at least one can. So 300 cans, that's what we're shooting for. I think we can do it. And they're going to have a van or a box truck or something like that. It'll be parked near the picnic shelter. So folks can just drop off their canned food before they head to the start line.
Awesome. That's a really great cause. So people drop off their canned goods and they have their race number from packet pickup the day before. They already pinned on their race bib. So now they can just head over to the start line, right?
Yes, they sure can. And I wanted to mention too about packet pickup that if somebody can't come on Wednesday to pick up their things, they can have a friend or family member do that for them. That's totally fine. So, but yes, when they arrive at the park, they should already have their race number. And so they can just head right over to the start line, which is located in the field by the ball field. And there's a paved track around that field. So it's very central located to the park if you haven't been there. And they'll show up when it's their assigned wave start time. That's very important. They have 19 minutes basically in their start wave window to get to that start line. So they signed up for these online and selected them when they registered. And so, for example, somebody might be in the first wave, which would be 8 o'clock to 8:19. And so they have from 8 to 8:19 to go and start their race. So it's really nice. There's not that same pressure to have to be there right at 8 at the beginning of the wave. They have a whole 19 minutes to get there, and it really helps with the congestion at the start line. So as soon as they arrive at that start line, they will just start their race.
Cool. And I know people are asking questions about their wave start time. So how strictly will they be enforced?
Yeah, I mean, we are doing the wave starts because we need to make sure that people are socially distanced and safe. And so we are only in North Carolina allowed to have 50 people gathered at one place at a time. So our permit at the park also reflects that number. So the wave that you started is the start time that you need to come. You do have that window that I was just talking about. So, if you're a few minutes late or whatever, you're really not late because you have 19 minutes in your wave.
Yeah.
But, basically we need you to come during that wave window that you've been assigned. It's really going to help to keep folks socially distanced. It's going to help us to adhere to the governor's orders. It's going to keep everybody safe. It's going to help with parking. It's also going to just help it not feel congested when you're running, when people are distant. So, if you're not able to make that wave start time, something's come up, or whatever, and you're just not able to, I would suggest that you convert your entry to a virtual entry. And then you go that afternoon in the park to run, or Friday or the weekend. There is that option as well. You can go to the park and do the actual course, or you can run anywhere you want. But I would suggest that you go ahead and just change that through your race roster profile if that's happening to you. And then that'll free up 2 spots for somebody who, might want to come and run in person.
Good deal. And you had mentioned parking. Is there going to be plenty of parking?
There is a lot of parking. But again, if 300 people showed up at one time, there would not be enough parking. So another reason that it's really important that folks only arrive 15 to 20 minutes before their start window, to get out of their car, maybe do their stretches, go to the porta-johns or the bathroom, is because of the limited parking. And we've strategically placed the wave starts rolling for several hours, not only for the social distancing, but also for parking. So, folks that arrive at 8 a.m. should be leaving the park around 9. That's what we're estimating, which will free up spots for the folks that are coming in the later waves.
Cool. So I know when you drive there, you'll see the Bill Moore Community Park sign. You turn into the park, and then where do you go?
Yeah, if you're in one of the beginning waves, I would suggest just keep on driving to the furthest back parking area first, and let's get that section filled up. All the parking is super convenient to the picnic shelter area, to where you'll drop off that canned food, to the restrooms, the porta-johns, to the start and finish. So there's really no need to scramble and try to get, parking right in the front of the bathrooms or something like that. Everything is very close together. So, and also carpool, if there's a family coming, let's save some spots for the public and for the other folks who might be enjoying the park that day, and, carpool together.
Yeah, big fan of carpooling, if you can. Yeah, so the course on the Greenway is mostly Greenway. It's both paved and small, like stone dirt kind of surface, and a little bit of grass. Is that correct?
Yeah, it is. It's such a great running surface. It's very forgiving where pavement and concrete is, really, really hurts the hips and the knees for the older folks, especially.
Not
But
me. I'm not older.
no, not
Mm-mm.
you, not
No,
you. I'm not talking about us
of
here.
course.
No, we're very young. Um, but the one thing folks are going to be super excited about, I think, who've done the race the past couple years, is that this course is flat. I mean, flat, 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 flat. So
Nice.
it is fast. I think people will definitely get some PRs if they're out there and their goal is to run a fast turkey trot. I
Yes.
think compared to Biltmore Park, folks are really in for a welcome treat with that for sure. And it's very scenic there. It is a park, but it goes in
Yeah.
this really beautiful wooded section. It's very clean. It's family friendly. It's very safe park. So I think folks are really going to be enjoying it. And if people did do the pop-up 5Ks this summer or fall, we have added a short little section to the course. And that will help it to be an exact 5K distance. So there is a course preview video on YouTube. And so I encourage everybody to watch that. But especially if you did the pop-up 5Ks and you're coming and you're curious about what that new spot is, take a look at that.
Awesome. Is the course well marked?
Oh, yes, Stephanie.
Of
Of
course.
course. I'm a runner too, and I've done a bazillion running races. And the last thing that I want is somebody to get lost on the course. And so I try to make it as foolproof as possible. I know some people are directionally challenged, and with this new method of events, it can be a little challenging not having volunteers at each turn. So you
Mhm.
do have to pay attention to the signs and markings, and don't just follow somebody in front of you. They, number one, might not be in the race, and number two, they might not know where they're going. So pay attention to the signs. There will be yard signs with the directional arrows. There's going to be the route arrow stickers on the ground. They're fluorescent arrows. And then we'll put some pink flagging at the turns. So it will be very well marked, but you do have to pay attention and watch for the signs.
Right. And since the course is at the park and on the Greenway, do you expect it to be congested on race day or hard to get around?
I think with the rolling and staggered starts and what we saw with the pop-up 5Ks, because we also did something similar there with the starts, I don't expect it to be super duper congested. I think that people are still going to get the energy and the excitement when they pass people and see other people out there with race numbers on, and they can give them, high fives as they're going
Yeah,
in different directions. But I don't foresee it being super duper congested like a mass start.
cool. And then you just can't run the virtual run during the event, right?
Yeah. So one of the really neat things with the park and with this event that's different is that we have the virtual race, and I really wanted people to be able to have the opportunity to run on the course if they're coming to town or if they're local and they didn't get into the in-person event. And so the park has agreed to allow us to keep up the signs and the stickers and the markings on the route until I'll take those down early Saturday morning. So basically from noon on Thursday, Thanksgiving, until Saturday morning, people can actually go out and follow the marked course with the signs, and they'll still get their awesome t-shirt, and they'll get their finisher medal mailed to them. And they can submit their time online and be eligible for prizes too. So they're just doing the race on their own, which is really neat. And I think a nice addition to this opportunity this year.
Yeah, absolutely. So one of the things I really love about this event is how family friendly it is. Last year we had tons of kids running with their parents and with friends. So let's talk about strollers this year, because I know that is different this year, correct?
Yeah. I think originally I was like, no, absolutely no strollers. I think there are strollers out there that are off-road style strollers, so
Oh,
those
yeah.
might be okay. But I just want people to know it's grass, it's trail, it's little small stones, but it might be bumpy, for the baby or the kid that's in the stroller. It's not a smooth paved surface throughout, and the finish is on a grass field. And also, because there is an out and back section and there's not a lot of space there for, a bunch of strollers. We just want people to be safe and socially distant. So we're really discouraging folks from bringing strollers this year.
Yeah, that makes sense. So what about dogs?
Oh yeah, bring your dog, of course. Good dogs only, please. Friendly dogs on a leash. Pick up after them. I mean, the
Oh, yeah.
routine. If you bring a dog, like they need to be a good dog and not be, mean and trying to chase after people. So, but yes, we love dogs.
Yes, we do. All right. So what can people expect after they cross the finish line?
Okay, yeah. So we have a finisher medal for everybody who participates in person. And so they will pick that up at our contactless medal station, and then they're free to go home. Due to COVID, we're not having any type of after party activity. That's one of the unfortunate things with the pandemic, but that's just where we're at right now. So we're adjusting to that. We won't have an award ceremony in person. So we will do that later on in the week, but you get to just go home and enjoy Thanksgiving the rest of your day with your family and friends.
That's right. You can just get home faster and start eating your Thanksgiving turkey or tofurkey.
Yeah.
Tofurkey?
Yeah, tofurkey works too.
Never tried one of those.
Yeah, I really just want the sweet potato casserole. So all the rest just doesn't even matter.
It's all about the sides.
Yes.
So that sounds great. Anything else we should let people know?
We will have the virtual awards ceremony the following week. We will also have the awards available at Fleet Feet Asheville after the awards ceremony takes place. So you don't have to join the online ceremony. You can watch it later on YouTube and the Facebook. We do record it. But that's something neat that we're doing after events that's somewhat new. People aren't accustomed to.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see. Also, I know everybody needs to use the restroom before they run and race, me included.
Yep, me too.
So there will be a couple porta-johns over by the picnic shelter. There's going to be an extra hand washing station there as well. That'll be really convenient for anyone that's just showing up for the race. There's also public restrooms as well. I don't think we mentioned early on, but I do want to mention, we are still adhering to COVID guidelines. And so face coverings are required in North Carolina and at the park before you run. So, keep those face coverings on and put them on after you finish running. If you go in the restrooms, put those face coverings on. It's just really important that we follow those guidelines and that we're all doing our part to tamper down this terrible COVID. So, yes.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And the staff and volunteers will be wearing masks as well.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, that's it for today. Thank you for listening, and we can't wait to see you at our Turkey Trot on Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 26th. And we wish everyone a wonderful Thanksgiving holiday.
All right, guys. See ya in a couple weeks.
Yay.
Yay.